I'm Erin Rosar and welcome to this week's episode of WGTV. This week I thought we'd talk a little bit about wine tasting etiquette, and with the fall season beginning, you're going to have lots of chances to hit wine tastings, whether in your own home or out at stores and shops and different events. So I wanted to go over just what the thing to do is about tastings. First of all, there's a couple of rules about going to a wine tasting, and they're all for everybody's enjoyment. You're there to taste some wine, to get to know it. So when you arrive, they're probably going to ask you before you attend not to wear heavy perfumes or colognes or hairsprays or anything like that that's going to have, or smoking before you go. So if you're smoking in the car, make sure you have a good walk before you go inside the tasting to sort of air everything out. But same with colognes and perfumes, because it's very hard, especially if you're around people with sensitive noses. You're going to affect not only your own enjoyment of the tasting, but the others around you as well. So that's kind of the main rule. Also try, obviously, when you're tasting wine in a group, depending how serious it is, you want to taste the wine and then be quiet. Sort of everybody, give some time to everybody to be able to think about and taste the wines in silence, just to really get to know the wines they're trying. If you're attending a blind tasting, what this is going to mean is that you're not going to know the wines that you're trying. You might know that you're there to taste red wines, you might know you're there to taste white or wines from a certain region, but a blind tasting basically means that it's going to be a surprise. And when you arrive, most likely you'll have glasses set up for you that will already be poured. The wines potentially will be out, but they'll be covered. Some might be decanted, but again, it's a secret. And then you'll have a notepad. And depending on how your tasting is being led, you might have someone talking you through each wine, or they might give you a time limit of how long you're going to be able to have to taste the wines and get to know them. But when you're attending a tasting, it's important to know, like I said, sort of make sure you're not wearing anything heavily aromatic on your body, whether it's perfumes, colognes, smoke, all those things. Also, before you go to a tasting, watch what you're eating ahead of time. If you're having heavy garlic sandwiches or a lot of coffee or orange juice because of the acidity, it might throw your mouth off. Salt and vinegar chips especially are bad things to have beforehand because your tongue's going to be all prickly. So just a few things to think about before you head to tasting, and have some fun. Remember, you're here, nothing is wrong. What you smell in a glass of wine is what you find. Don't worry about looking to see what anybody else's notes are like, or wine's about discussion, it's about having a good time, it's about trying some good flavors and seeing what someone's created for you. So the next time you're at a tasting, have a great time. Remember to take notes, because you're going to want to remember everything that happened, and have a super week, try some wines, and now I'm going to figure out what was in my glass. Cheers, everybody.